Close your eyes and imagine you're living over 2,000 years ago. There are no airplanes, no satellites, no internet, no way to communicate with civilizations thousands of kilometers away. As far as you know, your people are alone. And yet, something impossible is happening. Across Europe, people whisper stories of gigantic dragons that breathe fire. Far away in China, people pray to dragons that command the rain and rivers. In India, ancient scriptures speak of powerful serpent beings called Nagas. Across the ocean, civilizations of Mesoamerica worship a feathered serpent so powerful they believed it helped shape the world itself. Different continents, different languages, different gods, different histories. And yet, they all imagined enormous reptilian creatures with incredible supernatural powers. How? Was it simply an unbelievable coincidence? Did our ancestors actually see creatures we've forgotten? Or is the real answer hiding much closer than anyone ever imagined? Hidden inside the human mind itself.
At first, this might not seem unusual. After all, stories travel, ideas spread, cultures influence one another. But here's the problem. Many of these civilizations developed their dragon myths long before they had any meaningful contact with each other. Ancient China had its dragons, Europe had its dragons, India had the Nagas, the civilizations of Mesoamerica revered the feathered serpent. Each culture gave these creatures different names, different appearances, and different powers. Some dragons brought rain, others guarded treasure, some protected rivers, others represented chaos itself. But beneath all those differences, one pattern is impossible to ignore. They were enormous, they were powerful, they were connected to nature, and almost all of them were reptiles. Why reptiles? Why not giant wolves? Why not giant bears or enormous birds? Why did civilizations separated by oceans all imagine creatures with scales, long bodies, powerful jaws, and terrifying strength? For centuries, people believed dragons were real monsters. Others thought they were gods. Some even believed dragons still slept beneath mountains, waiting to awaken. But modern science has uncovered a far fascinating possibility. One that doesn't begin with dragons, it begins with us.
To understand dragons, we have to travel back, not thousands of years, but millions. Long before cities, before kingdoms, before the first human ever picked up a spear, our ancestors lived in a world where almost everything wanted to eat them. Poisonous snakes hid silently beneath tall grass. Massive crocodiles waited beneath muddy rivers. Big cats stalked from the shadows, striking before their prey even realized they were being watched. For our ancestors, missing a single warning sign could mean death. Over millions of years, evolution favored those who could recognize danger the fastest. The humans who noticed a snake before stepping on it, who spotted a predator hiding in the bushes, or who sensed movement near the river were simply more likely to survive, and they passed those instincts on to their children. Even today, scientists have found that humans, even babies, can detect the shape of a snake much faster than many harmless objects. It's as if our brains are still carrying the survival instincts of our ancient ancestors. Now imagine combining every predator humans feared into a single creature. The long body of a snake, the powerful jaws of a crocodile, the razor-sharp claws of a big cat, the enormous wings of a bird of prey, and the impossible size of something beyond anything you've ever encountered. You haven't discovered a dragon, you've just created the perfect predator. And perhaps that's exactly what the human brain did thousands of years ago.
But evolution alone doesn't explain why people truly believed dragons had once walked the earth. For that, imagine you're an ancient farmer digging into the side of a hill. The sun is beating down. Your shovel suddenly strikes something hard. You brush away the dirt and uncover a bone.
Not just any bone, a bone larger than your entire arm. You keep digging. A massive skull begins to emerge. Teeth as long as your hand, bones too large to belong to any animal you've ever seen. Now remember, there are no museums, no paleontologists, no one has ever heard the word dinosaur. If you found a skeleton this enormous, what would you think? Across the world, discoveries like these puzzled ancient people. In China, enormous fossils were often called dragon bones. Some were even ground into traditional medicine because people believed they possessed magical powers. In Europe, giant skeletons were displayed as proof that dragons had once roamed the earth. People weren't being foolish. They were trying to explain evidence with the knowledge they had. Today, we know many of those mysterious bones belong to dinosaurs, mammoths, and other prehistoric animals. But thousands of years ago, there was only one explanation that made sense. A dragon had once lived here.
But dragons weren't just creatures from the past. They became something far more important. They became an explanation. Imagine living in a world without science, no weather forecasts, no geology, no understanding of earthquakes, volcanoes, or floods. One year, your crops grow perfectly. The next, a river bursts its banks and washes away your entire village. Lightning tears across the sky. A volcano fills the air with fire and ash. The ground begins to shake beneath your feet. How would you explain any of it? Across the world, people reached a similar conclusion. Powerful beings controlled the forces of nature. In China, dragons ruled the rain, rivers, and storms. Their arrival brought water to the fields, and without them, entire kingdoms could face famine. In Europe, dragons lived in mountains and deep caves. They breathed fire, guarded treasures beneath the earth, and became symbols of destruction and chaos. In India, the Nagas protected sacred rivers, lakes, and the mysterious world beneath the ground. In Mesoamerica, the feathered serpent represented wind, rain, wisdom, and the cycle of life itself. Every civilization looked at the same natural world, the storms, the floods, the rivers, the mountains, but each one imagined a different dragon to explain it. The dragons looked different because every civilization gave them the face of the world they already knew.
By now, a pattern begins to emerge. Dragons weren't born from a single civilization. They weren't copied from one ancient empire to another. Instead, they were invented again and again by people who had never met.